This tutorial provides configuration instructions for the new National Enrolment Service and NHI lookup functionality within Profile for Windows as part of the New Zealand Ministry of Health initiative. Before you start the configuration, you'll need to register with NES. The Ministry of Health will provide your practice login username and password and your service URL. You'll also need your HPI organisation ID. You'll also need to ensure you have Connected Health installed. Alongside this tutorial, there is a configuration guide document. Both are broken down into the same sections and should be used in conjunction with each other to carry out the configuration of Profile. The other thing that you'll need to do before you actually go into Profile and do the configuration is make sure that your certificates are up to date. So the links to set them up and also to check that they are valid are within the configuration guide that you've been provided. I'm going to switch to Profile now and we'll start the configuration. So if you log in as your system administrator, first thing that you need to do is make sure that your practice HPI organisation ID is added in your organisation structure. So we go to Organisation, People and Places, single click on the top node within your organisation structure, right click and edit, and go to the reference section. In here, if this HPI organisation ID field is empty, enter the correct reference in there. Click OK to save and close out of that, and then close out of People and Places. Each practice will need to configure the NES web service using the account login details that have been provided to them once they completed the NES application registration form. We're now going to configure those details. Go to Organisation, Preferences, E-Messages, and what you'll see is there are now 3 available services here that relate to NES, and in your environment you won't have them displayed on the left hand side here. So you want to click on each one of these and drag them across to the left hand side of the screen. When you do that, a window will pop up and you'll need to enter your service URL, your username and your password. So if I open the ones that have already been added in this database, you can see here the details that have been added. In this window, we also want to set the schedule for the NES notification web service and the NES enrolment web service. Double click firstly on the NES enrolment web service, go to the schedule tab and tick use task schedule. We're going to create a new schedule, and firstly we want it to be daily. You want the start time to be the opening time for your practice and the end time to be the closing time for your practice. You also want to repeat every 60 minutes, and this is going to determine the frequency with which Profile sends enrolment updates to the NES. The start after date should be the date that you're going to go live with NES, and remove the end before date. So click OK to save and close that, and you'll repeat it in the NES notifications web service. I've already done this one. The difference with this is that it's repeated every 240 minutes instead of 60 minutes. All of these details are in the configuration guide. The NES task template is set up so that you can receive reminders when a patient's details within the NHI register have been updated and need to be changed within Profile. So we want to go to Maintain, Templates, Tasks, and we're going to create a new template. Give it the code of NES1 and the description of reminder to update patient record. On the right hand side under additional, we want to tick insert patients and notify. You also want to make this template available to everyone. Click on the task tab and input a subject. So again, we want to make that reminder to update patient record. So we also want to assign the holder. You can choose to send these tasks to a specific provider or user, or to a group of users. In this case, I have already set up a task distribution group. You can also do that. If you're not sure how to do it, refer to the help section within Profile. Click OK to save and close your new template, and you'll see it displayed here. You can also now close out of the task templates window. Integration preferences will hold information about when the NHI lookup window is displayed within Profile, and it also controls how and when a patient record is synced with the NHI register. So we go to Organisation, Preferences, Integration, and you want to select the master patient system as NHI lookup, then tick Create Task from Task Template when sync is required. Your new task template will be displayed, so select that from the drop down and click OK to save and close. In order for the NES to sync with Profile, registry key shortcodes need to be created. So if we go to Maintain Shortcodes and scroll down on the left hand side, scroll down the shortcode list until you find registry key. Single click and the codes will be displayed. Any of these NES codes, you need to check that they are always visible by double clicking and ensuring that the checkbox for always visible is ticked. You can then close out of the shortcodes window. The enrolment check alert notifies you if the patient record that you hold within Profile is different from that in the NHI registry. It will appear when a patient arrives for an appointment. To do this, we go to Organisation, Preferences, Patient, and on the left hand side, scroll down to Patient Arrives. On the right hand side, you want to tick Enrolment Check and also single click on the line Enrolment Check so that these new fields are displayed at the bottom. You want to make sure that Not Capitated is selected. Click OK to save and close. Some changes will need to be made to role access to make sure that patients are not added to Profile without linking to the NHI registry. Once these changes are made, Profile will show the NHI lookup window for the users with these roles allocated to them. We go to Organisation, Roles, select the first role that you would like to change. There are 7 role actions which need to be either revoked or granted in order for the NES Profile functionality to work correctly. Once you search for and find the correct role actions, you can simply right click and change, either revoke or grant. Click Apply to save the change. Any users within your practice who should receive notifications about NES enrolment should be added to the Enrolment Managers group. This means that when the notification tasks come through into Profile, the tasks will be assigned to anyone in this group. To add users to the Enrolment Managers group, go to Organisation, People and Places. The Enrolment Manager group should already be there available to you. Double click to open it and click Add to search for the person that you would like to add to the group. Once you've added everyone who you would like to receive these notifications, click OK to save and close, and then close out of People and Places. Once you've completed all of the configuration steps, you need to make sure that everything has been set up correctly. To do that, carry out the following test. Log in as one of the users with the relevant roles configured for using NES. Find the NHI number of an existing patient within your practice, and we're going to search to see if we can find it in the NHI registry. So click on the New Patient icon on the toolbar or go to the Patient menu and select New Patient. You'll now be presented with the NHI registry search window. So you can either search by surname, but because we've got the NHI number, we're going to enter it in here and click Search. If the configuration has been set up correctly, the search will return the result for the patient with the NHI number that you searched for. So you can just cancel out of this window now that you've completed the test to confirm the configuration has been set up correctly. If you have any issues regarding NES, you can contact either IntraHealth or the Ministry of Health, depending on what the problem is. If it is directly related to profile functionality, you can call the IntraHealth support desk on 0508 300 900, or if the problems are related to either enrolment or identity data issues, you can contact the Ministry of Health on either one of their support lines. For help with using the new NES functionality within Profile, please also refer to the user manual and the user video tutorials that are available.